Kent edge ahead as 19 wickets fall at Lords. Middlesex have fallen away from the promotion chase. They only have slim hopes of a return to Division 1, and those would probably be dependent on beating today's opponents. Kent are still well in the mix, and could even find themselves chasing the league title if Warwickshire start to stumble in the closing weeks of the season. A cloudy morning at Lords saw Kent exercise their right to bowl first, and it proved to be the correct decision. A steady start from the home side was brought to a screeching halt when Matt Henry, fresh off the back of his match-winning bowling performance over Northants, picked up the first wicket. Fellow opener Sam Robson would go soon after, Darren Stevens trapping him LBW for 12. Max Holden would be the next man to go, run out for 7 by Henry, as he was sent back by David Malan. Malan and Stevie Eskenazi would at least take Middlesex past 50 before another wicket fell. An impressive diving catch from Zach Crawley saw Malan out for 16 and Stevens with 2 wickets. And in his very next over, Owen Morgan would give Stevens his third, trapped LBW for just 1. The collapse continued. 2 balls later, Eskenazi was out for 16. Martin Anderson's loan at Derbyshire had been brief, but his stay at the crease in his Middlesex debut was even briefer, trapped LBW for 2. Ollie Rayner and James Fuller stabilised the innings enough for the home side to pass 100 without further damage. Stevens would eventually break their partnership, Rayner popping one straight back into the bowler's hands to go for 19. Podmore would beat Ethan Bamber's bat to bowl him for a duck, but Stephen Finn and Fuller would stubbornly bat on, and quickly. By the time Finn was bowled by Denny for 27, to bring the Middlesex innings to an end, they dragged their side to 161 all out. But Kent would realise they wouldn't have everything their own way when play resumed. Just 3 overs into the contest, Ethan Bamber had Sean Dixon LBW, gone for 8. The wicket of Joe Denny for 9 would come next. He too trapped LBW, Finn this time with the wicket. James Fuller would then turn a tough start into an even poorer one. Zach Crawley hadn't found his feet when Fuller dismissed him LBW for 3. He was fired up and had another in his next over. Daniel Bell-Drummond caught behind for 6. And he would repeat the feat again, this time the dangerous Sam Billings, snaffled by Eskenazi for 5. Martin Anderson's first championship wicket for Middlesex would remove Heino Kuhn, bowled for 19. Tea was called soon after Kuhn's wicket fell, and Kent could barely believe how they'd fallen apart, going into the break 54 for 6. The resumption would see Kent regroup, Darren Stevens and Harry Podmore recognising that the innings was at real risk of going off the rails. Podmore would finally come unstuck. A big swipe could only find Morgan at deep backward point, Finn with his second of the innings. Darren Stevens took that as his cue to counterpunch, Anderson and then Finn getting the treatment as he started to swing for the ropes, ably supported by Grant Stewart. Stevens' 50 would come with yet another 4 off Finn, as he followed up his impressive bowling performance with a crucial knock. He'd fall for 64 at the hands of Anderson, the score 157 for 8. Ethan Bamber would have Matt Henry caught behind for a duck, but Ivan Thomas and Grant Stewart would strike up a valuable final wicket partnership. Stewart had played second fiddle to Stevens, but he brought up his own 50 in emphatic style, pulling James Fuller for 4. They'd steer Kent through to the close of play, finishing the day on 189 for 9, a slight lead of 28, giving them the edge over the hosts. It had been a great recovery from Kent's lower order, but the morning session will be crucial if they're to stake their claim for the victory.